In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the tech zone.
Welcome back to the Tech Zone. Paul Amadeus Lane. So happy to have you here on the show. COVID-19. That's something that we hear on a regular basis for the last couple of months. We're concerned about our health. We're concerned about our well-being. We're concerned about our jobs. And as we hear about the number of infected that happens on a daily basis, there's one segment of the population that we really need to sing at the top of our lungs to make sure that they are staying safe. We're talking about the most vulnerable part of our population, our seniors, the aging and adult population out there, especially the ones who are staying in nursing facilities. There's still no new number or no real number or real data of how many people are affected in these nursing facilities. Maybe we have a family member, a friend, or even a mate, grandparent, who are in these facilities. We are concerned about them, their safety, their well-being. What can be done to help to stop the spread of COVID-19 as well as other diseases that may have or will occur? My next guest is going to talk about what their tech company is doing to help meet the challenge of this moment and beyond. We have Sebastian Gadini and we have Vikram Mehta. Gentlemen, welcome. How are you both doing?
Good. How are you, Paul?
Doing fantastic.
Good. Thank you for having us, Paul.
Great to have you guys. And I wanted to have you on because we see what's going on with the pandemic now and how it's really wreaking havoc on nursing facilities. One thing I really enjoyed our chat that we had at CES was about the innovation that you had that was for nursing facilities and patients out there. And talk about how things have changed since CES 2020 and how you guys are now meeting the need of those who are in these nursing facilities. Who would like to go first?
So thanks, Paul, for first of all for having us again today. It was great at CES, but I would say to answer your question, what the difference we see today is that before CES, every time we would speak with professionals, they could see a need for a product because they are nursing professionals, doctors, and from the industry, so they see that. Now what we see more and more after the CES and after this pandemic is that now you see people that are not necessarily from the medical industry that are like, oh my God, now I get it. Now we need to use a solution like Smarty out there because we see what's happening at nursing homes and they need help. We need to protect our families, our elderlies, but also our staff. And now I would say we had before, validation from the medical industry, but now even people that are not from this industry, they see right away the need for technology to help nurses and residents and families right now. You need to be prepared. Not only you need to help go through this pandemic, but you also need to be prepared. You need to be prepared for probably the next wave, or if it's not even the COVID-19, who knows? Maybe the COVID-22, or you don't know what's coming our way in the future. So that's probably what changed since the CES.
And you know what? You bring up a very good point, Sebastian. I was talking with another techpreneur about their innovation with contact tracing. And they're thinking of COVID and beyond because, let's face it, if we just think that COVID-19, once we lick this, is over, that we got another thing coming, I think that's what kind of put us in the situation by being lulled into a false sense of security, thinking that pandemics like this don't exist, especially here in the United States. And Vikram, please talk about when we see what the innovation that you guys are doing at Smarty are going to be able to help ones out there. How does that make you feel when it comes to just being in the tech world now?
No, absolutely. I think you hit a very good point. Being able to help people, being able to create the distance, being able to help reduce the PPE burn rate, help being able to protect families and loved ones and caregivers. We've always said what we're doing is a very feel good, we're a feel good company and a feel good product. We're impacting lives, improving lives, quality of care, and doing it through technology while making it economical and efficient and easy to use makes it feel all the way around good. So we're excited about that. We're excited to continue to roll that out and continue to stay on our track that we started earlier this year.
And Sebastian, if you don't mind going into just what makes this piece of innovation so, I don't want to say life-changing, but something that's very essential when it comes to ones in nursing facilities and dealing with our most vulnerable citizens out there.
Yes, so I'm going to keep that in light of what's happening now with the coronavirus. But I think it was a CNN article that was released a few days ago where they were saying that now government records reveal how there was some supply shortages, lapses in care, lack of transparency, and inadequate infection control precautions, at nursing homes and so on and so forth. So I think here, what I would hate to see is that now what's happening is being used politically to point fingers at people. And I think what's important to know is that, and hopefully hopefully everybody sees that today, the nurses, they do what they can. They do what they can, and when you have such a pandemic, you see that they're not enough. There's not enough staff. There's not enough PPE. Everything is lacking. So how can you help them? That was our mission from the beginning, to say, hey, they need help, because on the worst day in America, you have one nurse for 38 patients. That's already shocking, and we are not talking about a pandemic situation here. But now in a pandemic situation, it's just horrible. I mean, I don't even know the numbers, and it's just probably shocking. But how do you help them? You need to reduce unnecessary contacts. That's number one. When we speak with our current customers, but also with officials, they say, hey, we need to find a solution to stop the burning rate on the PPEs. And how do you do that? When you think of checking an adult protection, let's say that a nurse is going in there checking if the protection needs to be changed or not, and they open it, and then of course it didn't have to be changed because it was clean. Well, unfortunately, she has wasting her time, number one, and she took an additional risk to go into that room and have an unnecessary contact with that patient or that resident. So that's the type of things that we are trying to avoid using our technology, is to help them limit the unnecessary contacts at nursing homes right now. You also have something else, is that we always say that in a nursing home environment, in elder care, you need to anticipate everything. And how do you anticipate things? It's through technology. So there are cases where certain things could have been avoided, I would say, with better technology. Aggravated UTI, falls, bed sores, all of that could have been prevented or as much as possible avoided if the nurses had the proper technology with them. Now the issue is that in a pandemic, if you have all these residents that suddenly they need to go to a hospital because they had complications, let's say for UTI or fall, well, bingo, now you put these people back in a hospital with other people that may be infected, and when you put them back into a nursing home, they may infect other residents or staff, and it's just a never-ending story. So that's another aspect. And then the last one, probably that I want to mention, is that if you are way ahead of things, you can plan, and you can also, have the proper tools to see if something, there's a red flag, something is happening, something is not right. And what we see right now, we have, certain people approaching us and saying, hey, you know what? We are worried, not really about now, but September, October, November. So can we find a way that we'll be able to see certain, hotspots where where there are certain red flags, maybe an increase in temperature, maybe an increase in whatever it is, a loss of balance among residents or diarrhea or things like that, and to be able to build a heat map so that you can prevent spreading an infection because things way ahead of time. So that's where we believe that we could play a very important role right now.
So, guys, I think back to 2020 when we had our first discussion. Talk about just the mindset to change direction, especially when it comes to this pandemic. And Vikram, why don't you share your thoughts on that?
Sure, absolutely. So from the beginning, even before CES, we built this for a very purposeful need, and there's a need for it. It's not a want. This solution needed to be in the market years ago, not just now. We believe, and since CES, and even since the pandemic, we haven't changed our strategy. We haven't changed our direction. Our foremost point was our number one strategy was to provide the enhanced care to the elderly population, and that hasn't changed. That still continues to remain our strategy, our direction, our focus. That's where we have the partnerships. That's our solution meets that demand, that need, and our solution it continues to propel Smarty forward, especially now in this environment where we can create that distance and that safety and things like that. So I wouldn't say it changes strategy or changes direction. It just highlights, it puts Smarty in the spotlight a lot more. And we look forward to continuing to help people. That's our number one mission. Hasn't changed from day one, and that continues to stay our number one mission.
And that's really one thing that I noticed when it comes to digital health, connected devices, assistive and adaptive devices out there. Is there was a time when we thought it was a luxury, but Sebastian, right now it is a necessity. I don't think we'll ever go back to the way things were pre-COVID-19. I think this is the new normal. And it's not a necessity no more, Sebastian.
That's true. And I think besides technological advancement, I think there will be a pre-COVID-19 and a post-COVID-19, and I think a lot of things are going to become mandatory going forward. We don't know what they are. They will very likely become vaccination, for example. But I think, I don't want to say that it's only Smarty. I think there will be also other players out there that will, that came up with a solution that we believe, the government will probably push for, saying that now you need to step up and have a different and a better standard of care. And I think that there are a couple of solutions out there, including Smarty, we believe, that should be used going forward as the new standard of care. Because otherwise, when we're going to have another pandemic, if or when, we won't be prepared. And we need to learn from this situation. And I think this is what's going to change a lot going forward.
Yeah, that is so true. And when we look at just the way things are going now with great technology like Smarty out there, that's going to help us meet this need. Do you see Smarty being used in other industries or just the medical field? What do you guys see Smarty going forward, especially in light of this pandemic?
Yeah, thanks for asking that as well. So yes, we do see Smarty being used across a number of applications, not just in the medical world. But we do see Smarty being, at some point down the road, being more preventative tool, overall health tool, So we have visions, we have a roadmap, we have plans, and we're eager to execute on those. But we first want to finish validating it in the medical world, and then start to roll out to broader applications, consumer applications, more general purpose applications, more on regular in-home use applications. So there are many different verticals we're looking at.
I love it. And Sebastian, please let's get your thought as well.
Yes, absolutely. If I may add something else, I would say, like Vikram mentioned, there are many applications. And when we were at the CES, we noticed that, of course, when we participated in the NASA event, we were, among the top 10 companies, and we didn't even, it was difficult for us to believe that. So there are applications, maybe even in space. But I would say one thing that comes to mind that I think will happen now that we probably didn't anticipate before is that not only institutions will want to use a solution like that, but you will have also more and more people who want to have a solution like Smarty at home for their elderlies, for their families, because they need to be monitored remotely. And without technology, how do you monitor remotely people? It's just impossible. So I think, unfortunately, my grandparents are not in this world anymore. But if they were, I would definitely, get the Smarty out there for them before September, October. That's what I would do. Number one, because it's a necessity now for everybody.
So, gentlemen, I really enjoyed our talk on this very, very important topic right here. Before I let you go, is there anything else out there you'd like for us to know, Sebastian?
Yes, absolutely. So I think what's important to mention is that we're here to help, besides being a private company, of course, but we're in healthcare. So if you're in healthcare and your goal number one is not to help people, then you have a problem. So that's our goal number one. So now the next milestone for us is to, as planned, to hit the ground in August with our partner nursing homes. We have about 9 of them so far across Europe and North America. And once we have this successful rollout between August and September, the goal for us will be to make this product available to as many people as possible, so that we can help them getting ready for the next wave, if there is one. Hopefully there's not, but that's better be safe than sorry. And that's our goal, basically, to be ready to help out. So if there's anyone out there, nursing home, hospitals, or people that have loved ones at home that are alone, that want to learn more about us, I would say the easiest way is to follow us on social media, our website, write to us through our website, and we'll be happy to take you on board starting fall.
Awesome. Well, Vikram and Sebastian, great catching up with you guys. You both, please stay safe during COVID-19. Thank you guys both for taking on this fight, and you both be well. Wishing you and your family safety during this time.
Thanks a lot, Paul, for having us, and same to you as well. Stay safe.
Paul, thank you so much for having us, and we wish the same to you. Don't hesitate to reach out if you need anything.
Huge shout out to Sebastian and Vikram from Smarty. Thank you so much for rising up at this moment, technology-wise, to put forth innovation that can keep one safe who are receiving care, especially our aging and adult population, our seniors out there. And remember, seniors, maybe you're not listening or watching the show from a nursing facility, know that we love and care for you deeply. And you are always, always with us in our thoughts and our prayers. All right, well, that's the end of our show this week. Make sure you tune in next week. We're going to have some more great guests, more great technology out there. So until next time, folks, take care. Love you all.
In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul, Amadeus, laying in the tech zone.